Hey everyone, I'm Nathan, and there I was, scrolling through the internet archives, through Google Images, past the wiki, trying to figure out what am I gonna do for my next Drawfee fan art video, when this image crossed my wondering eye. This beautiful piece of art comes from the Drawfee episode, Drawing Ourselves as Final Fantasy VII Characters, which is a delightful beans, and I'll be honest, after doing 20 plus figures in an episode, I thought I would pace myself a little bit and treat myself to just some delightful fan art of our favorite Drawfee host with a Final Fantasy twist. Also, stay tuned for the very end of the episode where I talk about the special episode coming out this Saturday. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Full disclosure, I've never actually played any of the Final Fantasy games except for Final Fantasy X, and I did not beat it. I grew up watching my older brothers play the Final Fantasy games, which were very fun. But I was very young at the time, so while I did see my oldest brother play Final Fantasy VII with the really low poly figures, I didn't understand what was going on. I just knew I really, really loved chocobos. I thought they were the cutest thing. So my understanding of these characters come from Kingdom Hearts. I say this is Final Fantasy art, but really it's just in the style of the cover art for Kingdom Hearts 1. Anywho, as you can see, now I'm finishing up my sketching of Julia as Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and I'm about to get into my inking phase. This was interesting because obviously the original image is just the bust, so we only see the head, and it was really fun to design the outfits from the neck down, especially Julia's because she had this whole pauldron half coat, like half suit jacket on one side, and I just kept thinking about how she went to like fashion school, and I was really trying to channel like the runway when I was designing this outfit. And it's really simple. It's just like a nice crop top and pants, and the shoes are kind of wonky, but I think it's pretty asymmetrical. I added a bunch of belts. I know what's up. I know how this Final Fantasy stuff works. I'm about to start coloring, so I'll go ahead and talk about how I decided Julia's color palette. I went mostly with khaki and neutrals, and I paired them with blues, like navies, and then a nice indigo. I think I mostly did this because of Eugene and how he wears like that really pretty, blue ensemble. And I didn't even realize that until I started recording this. It was totally subconscious, but yeah, I think that's the reason. And I just think this character looks good in blue. I felt like it matched the blonde hair nicely, so love that. I add the shinies on all the metal bits. And Nathan Yaffe, I'm so sorry, but if you're watching this, even a fictional Julia just delivered you the gnome. And now I'm drawing Jacob as Tifa. Oh my gosh, this face started out so derpy. Oops. Spoiler alert, I do put Jacob in a skirt, but I also make him jacked, so I feel like it kind of balances itself out. I change his legs here so that he's not just a mirror of Julia's pose. I wanted him to kind of be more unique. I make him kind of sweaty and tired just because, I don't know, I like to imagine that he just whooped some ass or something, or got in a fight with gangs. I really don't know what happens in this video game. He fought the Heartless to unlock the door of light and to seal the door of darkness. I gave Jacob pretty much Tifa's exact colors from the video game. I didn't really see a reason to change them, and it just looked good when I color dropped it or whatever, so I kept it how it was. But like with Jacob's brown hair, obviously. Karina as Vincent Valentine. As previously stated, I have played Final Fantasy X, so when I first watched this beans, I for real thought that she was Aaron, and I was like, oh, I know that guy in Final Fantasy X. But then I looked up Vincent Valentine and was like, oh no, it's a different, quiet, brooding figure in the background of the game, with a high collar wearing red. I drew her, of course, using proper trigger discipline that I actually only learned was a thing by watching Drawfee. Thanks, y'all. So educational. I think the Kingdom Hearts pokes through the most with her design because of her big, meaty hands and giant, chonky shoes. They look very much like Sora's in the game, or like Mickey Mouse gloves. And then Karina's colors, I'm pretty sure, are also just very close to Vincent's. They might be a little more maroon. I could be wrong. I drew this a week ago. Saturday's video has taken a lot of prep work. and planning, so I needed to do something more time management friendly for this video in order to like make room in my schedule for it. But yeah, I'll talk about that later. Let's focus on Karina. I'm finishing up coloring her now. I start out with these grays, but they quickly become maroon, and then I make her glasses red tinted as well, just to keep in with that monochromatic color story, and I think that about finishes her up. Last but certainly not least is Nathan Yaffe as Aerith. Genius, completely hilarious, also grandma vibes from Drawtectives. Love, love, love this initial design, and I was really happy to like elaborate on it by making it a fully rendered drawing. I gave him huge shorts that are kind of in the same silhouette of Aerith's skirt. I don't really know what's going on with this pose, but I loved while I was drawing this just thinking about how this Final Fantasy Drawfee world would work, because it's like, obviously Cloud Julia has this card with this gnome and completely terrorizes Aerith Nathan with its presence constantly, so very different than the actual Final Fantasy VII universe. And now I'm just fiddling with some adjustment layers before we finally get into the background. It was really fun doing a pastiche in this style because Kingdom Hearts was one of my favorite video games as a kid. It did stress me out a lot to play because it didn't have a turn-based fighting system like Pokemon, so I was incredibly stressed out how people could just come up and attack you and you didn't take turns. But I loved the Disney characters so much that I was like, you know what, it gets a pass. And now I'm doing all of the stained glass windows, and after doing that, I'm going to add a shadow on all of the characters because they are backlit by the moon. So you know what that means, rim lighting. And initially I make it a very blue shadow, which I find out later was a bad decision. I turn it to a warmer kind of yellow tone at the very, very end of the video, which helps it stand out because, I don't know, it's just common sense. The background is so blue that the yellow shadows helps bring them to the foreground. When did I draw this goofy? Oh my gosh, how did I miss that? I'm not rewatching this to find out. And this is the finished image. This was a very chill video, but I had a lot of fun doing it regardless. Which one is your favorite design? Let me know in the comments down below, or tell me your favorite childhood video games or current video games. Do you still play video games? Let me know. And now, before we get to the end credits, time for my little announcement. This Saturday's video, the reason why it's taken so much prep work is that it's going to be the debut of my OCs. So I'm going to be showing characters that I created, like my original characters and their original story. I'm like scared out of my mind to share it, but I'm also so excited. And they're super gay, they're super cute, and I really love them, and I'm proud of how they look like. I don't normally say this, but really, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss this Saturday's video, because I really want it to do well to get my story out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you if you do subscribe because of this plea. It means so much to me, and if you've been following me from the beginning, hey, please watch Saturday's video. Yeah. So without further ado, here's the end credits. Special thanks to Blue Uwu, MOE, Game of Catan on IG, Gay Jairus, Melon, Prance, SL Blue, Smalls the Sax Jammer, Thumper Daytime, Tarthalinor, Tuesdays Anyways, and Tuppets Pies. My name is Nathan. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and I'll see you soon. Bye!